will do anything to sit down. That was the joke. And I had no idea. And this is it. Simon.
Simon?
Yeah. Why you? What? I stare at my father's place. Yeah. It feels good. Yeah. No, it feels only 45 minutes later. Yeah. It's fine. James mispronounced my name, but I think it's Aaron. I wrote it Aaron as my ours look like me, and they have James introduced as Ethan.
Jaden?
Yeah. Because then I make a huge deal about it that, like, before I noticed that. No, Chris is sick. Really bad. We should have reached out. Oh no! With the crowbar! That's so weird!
Like, you left for 5 minutes and like 5 minutes
That was what I was joking. Like, oh no! 4 comedians off and broken leg. Hello. It was so bad. I don't know what I work for kids. No, like the viral infection thing guy.
Oh.
I was like, fucking serious? He's like, how did you get picked out? The kid draw you? I'm like, no, like the viral infection.
Oh my god. Wow.
I was like, I have to leave this conversation.
One of us haven't turned out into a joke. Or both of us. Oh, same guy. Okay. I was thinking. Okay, this is why. Let me explain myself.
No, it's you.
Well, no. You know something so nice.
Yeah. No, I
and I'm reasoning no reassurance because I'm thinking I was thinking of my kids. Like, they
Curious Comedy Theater. How are we doing tonight, huh, everybody? Let's hear it. Yes, I am Chris Hudson. I am filling in for Kristen Rowan. Unfortunately, she could not be here tonight. Yeah, there we go. Aww. So I wanted to do I wanted to do something nice for Kristen since she couldn't be here tonight. Let's go ahead and say hey, we miss you, Kristen. We miss you here at Stretch. Say hello to Kristen, everybody. Say hello to Kristen. Yes, Stretch. Don't worry, the show is in good hands. All right, now let's take this off the rails. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. She's watching the live stream? Oh, so I didn't have to do that whole. Okay, that's. Okay, thank you. Okay, I thought it was a nice. All right, that's cool. This is Stretch. It's a very fun show where comedians go out of their normal acts and they explore in new territory. I also have a stretch. My stretch is going to be monotone one-liners. That's what my stretch is. And I don't know if you've heard me talking so far. I am not very monotone. So we're going to see how that goes. But we also do some of our regular material, so let's start with that. I'm happy to be here at Curious Comedy here in Oregon. I'm actually a transplant to Oregon. Any other transplants in the room? There we go. Transplant. Where'd you move here from?
Originally from Turkey, but after that from San Francisco.
Turkey to San Francisco to Portland. All right, you avoided all the rest of the country. That was a good decision, actually. That's good. Yeah, how long have you been in Portland?
Almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. Perfect. Me too. I'm coming up on 4 years, and this is what happens when someone finds out you're a transplant. Tell me if this has happened to you. This is what happens. People are like, they find out you're a transplant. They look around. They're like, oh, well, you know, Portland used to be cool. Always, yeah. Portland used to be good, and now it's kind of getting bad a little bit, right? And I'll have a follow-up question because I want to learn more about where I live. So I'll be like, oh, when would you say it started going downhill? And they'll look me up and down and be like, when did you move here? Perfect. There's that passive aggressiveness, you know? You got to pull it out sometimes. Like, I moved from the East Coast. Like, I moved from Baltimore City to downtown Portland, which now seems more like a lateral move than anything else. It seems lateral. So I like regular aggression. That's what I like. I like when somebody yells at me. Yes. Oh, he's regularly aggressive?
Well, no, he's from Moscow.
Okay. Scary.
Then Portland.
Huh?
Then New York.
Then New York.
Seattle.
Then Seattle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now he's settled in Seattle.
You settled in Seattle.
He's visiting me.
Yeah. That seems like the sequel to Sleepless in Seattle, Settled in Seattle. This is who I ended up with. Moscow, was that scary, Moscow? It can be, yeah.
He escaped.
He escaped, see? I knew there was a story. He's moving a chair over. Yeah. No, because I went to, my first year of college was in South Georgia. It's just, I saw a pamphlet. Oh, woo, okay. I saw a pamphlet, and I made friends with international students because I didn't get along with anybody in the South because I'm originally from Baltimore. And I met somebody from Russia. He wasn't from Moscow, but he used to say he got beat up like every other day in the streets, and he's like, I'm so glad to be in America. So that's what I thought. You're laughing like I know that game.
He was almost arrested.
Well, he was almost arrested. What is going on here?
He escaped the day he was going to be almost. Yeah.
Wait, are you the guy beating people up? Is there a jewel heist that we're missing out on?
It's a long story, and
yeah,
he's not telling it right.
He's not telling it. Oh, jeez, the way you said that. The way you said that. No, but look, I love regular aggression. Hear me out. Regular aggression, because I lived in downtown Portland, and let's say I lived on some active blocks, right? And there'd be people screaming during the daytime, sometimes at the sky, and my neighbors would be like, oh my God, they're in distress. And I'd be like, oh no, don't worry, that's actually healthy. You gotta let it out, brother. Like, you can't hold it in and make faces. Now this is where the stretch comes in. I'm changing gears in my brain. So they say, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Some people say that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, go ahead. Put all your eggs in different baskets and see how easy it is to carry those eggs. Streaming services are real big now. You know, Larry the Cable Guy, I don't think he could exist now. I don't think he could, Larry the Cable Guy. He'd have to be Larry the 17 different streaming services guy. He exists now. Got a DNA test done recently. DNA test. Found out, turns out, I have a lot of DNA. Just in my body. People tell me I have my dad's eyes. True, I do have my dad's eyes. But I always have to pull them back because I also have my mom's mustache. Yes. My mustache is the topic of a lot of debate among my friends. Some of them love it, some of them hate it. But here's my issue. If I get rid of my mustache, I look like a lost 13-year-old boy on the side of a milk carton. And if I keep it, I look like the guy that took the lost 15-year-old boy on the side of a milk carton. It's tough. Mentioned my dad. He taught me everything I know about auto repair. Everything I know about auto repair. So anytime one of my friends' cars breaks down, I know how to hold a flashlight steady so I don't get yelled at. Yeah. But my dad wasn't a bad guy. He wasn't an alcoholic. He was a shopaholic, which I think is worse. Have you all ever been hit with a bag of deals? It hurts because he was able to afford more things. Yeah, I was an alcoholic. Man, it's hard to transition between one-liners. How about this? Guy walks into a bar, right? He orders an appletini from the bartender. Bartender makes it, slides it over to him. Guy looks upset. Bartender goes, "Oh, what's wrong? Thought you wanted an appletini." He looks at the drink and goes, "Why isn't this a tiny apple?" They're not all winners. You know, some people say all that jazz and all that jazz. They just throw it around, not realizing how much jazz they're actually implying. So much jazz. There's so much jazz. 69ing is a popular sex move these days. 69ing. That's not popular in my household. What's popular in my household is something that's known as 96ing. Okay? That is when you get into a fight with your partner so you sleep back to back. Okay. All right. My friend got a new, you're doing the math. My friend got a new tattoo on her wrist, and it's kind of scary tattoo. It's scared to my friends. They like jump scared. So we ended up referring to her wrist as a terror wrist. That's what. You know, I'm not going to apologize for that joke because I like my apologies like I like my coffee cold, and by the time I get it, I don't even want it anymore. Some of these are slow burns. Slow burns. Do some quick impressions for you. Okay, here's the first one. Read 'em and weep. That is a card dealer recommending a sad book. Second impression. This motherfucker's spitting. That is the first person who saw a rattlesnake. Third impression. You do you. That is someone explaining masturbation to someone the first time. Leave you with this one last joke. They said follow your dreams, so I did, and that is how I ended up in my old high school, naked, taking a test I didn't study for while being laughed at by my crush. Are you all ready to continue this show? Stretch! It's going to be so fun. Our next comic coming to the stage is doing a very unique stretch, They are doing a sober set, and then later they are going to come back and do another set in an altered state. Please give it up for John Sanchez III!
can't tell if Chris was dragging me. Like, a very unique stretch. There aren't 17,000 comedy shows about people doing weed and then doing comedy. I was like, what? Okay, I don't like doing crowd work. I'm gonna say it. I don't want to know how you escaped Russia. I do desperately want to know, but I don't want to know right now. We cannot do it. We cannot do that because I have more important things to ask. I'm gonna do a little crowd socialism. Are we ready? That's what we're doing. And I need to know how many of you have ever done drugs. Okay. We're gonna do it on the count of 3, but you all just, I could be a cop. What are you doing? You're just outing yourselves. I'm not a cop. If I just keep saying it over and over again, what if my 5 minutes is just me saying I'm not a cop? Would that be fun? Okay, I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, I'm John Sanchez III. Yeah, that's me. My full name is Joseph John Sanchez III, but I go by Joe John because I identify as what? Openly annoying. Yay! I also, like Chris, have a mustache, which is, my mustache is not that divisive. Most people are just horny for it, you know? Some of us have great mustaches. Listen, I'm dragging you for dragging my stretch. It's fine. Back to comedy. The thing that I'm here to do and prove that I do well until I do marijuana. So having a mustache for me is a problem because I identify as non-fiction, which just means that I'm real like J-Lo. And I don't like being compared to fictional characters at all. I get it all the time. Sometimes it'll be like Walter White, Ron Swanson, the dad from Inside Out, which I'm like, okay, hot, but stop. The other day on TikTok, someone compared me to a character from Gravity Falls, and it was spot on. The few of you who know who they're talking about, it's the guy in the short shorts with the mustache and the baseball cap. It's literally me. It was like looking into a mirror. I don't know their name, but it's me. It's me. And I don't want to be compared to that, but that is me. And okay, 5 or 7 times a day, someone will say I look like a sexy Ned Flanders. And everyone likes that, but I don't because I don't know what to ding-dong fuckling do with that information. I fucked up my own punchline. I'm not even high yet. I had a Red Bull, so I'm just talking really fast. That's part of my stretch too, caffeine. I'm doing it all the time. What else about me? I'm one of those pansexuals you heard of. Yeah. What's that? It just means I'm bisexual, but more annoying about it. And I am the most Portland cliche you could ever imagine. I am that. I am a pansexual, non-binary, accidentally polyamorous person. You ever become polyamorous by accident? You have a boyfriend one day and the next day you accidentally have a second boyfriend? That's my truth. Relatable, right? Relatable comedy. I am non-binary, surprise. And here's the thing. I used he, him pronouns for most of my life. And then I moved to Portland and I switched to he, they, because they make you. You have to do it. If you don't question your gender when you move to Portland, they say move. Move to Vancouver. And not the cool one in Canada. The one in Washington that nobody wants to live in. I'm sorry if any of you live in Vancouver. That's been my time. Bye.
We'll be going for Joe John Sanchez III. You will see them again later in the show for their stretch. I did not mean to refer to their stretch like I was also a cop. Although I will say both of our mustaches make us the best detective duo in Portland. All right, your next comedian coming to the stage with their stretch, which is storytelling. Please give it up for Dylan Jenkins, everyone.
One more time for Joe John, everybody. Give it up for him. Yeah. Gonna go do some weed. Let's fucking go. I stopped smoking weed recently. That was my last vice that I gave up. It was weird. I realized like the day I stopped smoking weed, it was Juneteenth. Oh, the transaction is happening. Check it out. Look at the joint. You got this, Joe. Go smoke that dude, brother. The day that I stopped smoking weed happened to be Juneteenth. Because I was just like, how can I make this about me? Yeah, I didn't plan on it. That was just like I checked the calendar, like looking, how long have I been sober? And I looked up the day, I'm like, oh, June 19th. Like, let's fucking go. Tight. Good for me. I always start every set with a bomb. That's how I do it. All right, I'm nervous. This is my first time doing comedy in shorts. This is fucking super vulnerable. I have psoriasis on my right kneecap. Don't look at it. What's up? It's good to be here. Man, so we got Turkey, Moscow. Anyone further from that? Like anyone like farther from either of those places here? Omaha, hell yeah. No, it makes me feel insecure right now because I'm born and raised here in Portland. You know, like I've gone nowhere in my life, like born and raised, you know, and I like being from this town. You know, we may not speak with accents, but we drive with a slow southern drawl. Just so fucking slow, dude. Just going the speed limit in the left lane, not giving a fuck, dude. Just each four-way intersection in this town, just like, oh no, I do declare, you go first. Just gonna sit there and wait a little longer. I was driving behind a school bus and I looked up and there were two middle school boys in the back seat smiling at me. All right, and I looked away for a second. When I looked back, they were both giving me the finger. And I gotta be honest, that shit warmed my heart. You gotta love to see that shit. Two kids not on their phones in the moment, being present. Like, let's fucking go. That shit doesn't happen anymore. That was tight. It was delightful, and it was a full circle moment for me because I'm like, yo, that used to be me. I used to be the kid in the back of the bus giving the finger. Now I'm behind a bus getting fingered. It's weird how that happens, you know. And I gotta be honest, like I'm got nothing but respect for these kids because they're in it for the love of the game. Like I was giving people the finger because the batteries in my CD player died, right? The 12 songs that I could have been listening to were off the table. But these kids have the internet in the palm of their hands, like right there, you know. They could be doing anything, but instead they're still like, no. Fuck this dude instead. And I gotta respect it, man. And they had different methods about giving me the finger that told me all about their individual personalities. Like the first kid, he gave me the finger like this. He had the thumb tucked in. All right? That's a sweet boy. That's a sweet baby boy. He does his homework on time, doesn't curse in front of his parents. The other kid gave him the finger like this. He had the thumb out. Wild card. We call that the Slim Shady. Right? That kid doesn't have parents. I imagine when they give the finger in Moscow, it's all thumb out. I'm just. Can you confirm or deny that?
No, I confirmed, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's good. Yeah, man. And, you know, it was just great, man. But it was, you know, they're laughing at me because I'm the asshole driving behind them, and I'm laughing at them because I know how crushing the next 25 years of existence is going to be. I'm like, honestly, the two of you aren't even going to be friends in 25 years. It's going to break your heart. One day you're going to wake up and be like, yo, whatever happened to Vladimir? Am I right? You know? That's me projecting on that joke. But, you know, I don't know. Shout out wherever you are, Vladimir. I hope you're doing all right, man. Killing it. I just bought a concert ticket. I bought a seat at a concert. There was standing room tickets available. I bought a fucking seat because I'm old now. Give it up for seated shows. Let's make some noise. Look, we're only 15 minutes into this show, and could you imagine if you were standing the whole time already? Wouldn't shit be funny, dude? You can't eat popcorn standing up. That's a red flag. I know that from personal experience. And I like going to concerts, but the vibe is different, man. Like, I used to get upset if bands didn't play long enough. And now it's like, bro, play the hits, wrap this shit up. I've had to pee for 20 minutes, dude. What the fuck? My whole 20s, the entire decade, I peed 4 times. I remember each time, 4 solid, strong streams, man. But now, like, whenever I go to a concert and people ask me how it was, I tell them about the parking. Like, I've become my dad, dude. What the fuck? Like, they're like, how was the show? I'm like, parking was sick. I bet Moscow's got some fucking dope parking. This corner right here. I don't know. I'm sorry. And my stretch was actually accents that I got to change. Yeah, concerts. It's fun. As a comedian, I'm jealous of musicians because they can not have an ending to their songs and they can just fade out. They can just lower the fucking volume. That rules. We don't get to do that. Like some of the greatest songs of all time don't have endings. They just lower the fucking volume. Punchline's got to be the strongest part of the bit, man. You can't just lower the volume because you didn't write an ending to a joke. It just doesn't All right. Well, since I've been crushing for 5 minutes already, I gotta land this plane with a story. So I work customer service. I work at the friendliest store in town. We're going on strike tomorrow. That's gonna be fun. I was watching Newsies today to prepare. So I'm gonna start singing. I'm ready to soak some scabs. I don't know. But yeah, customer service is it's an interesting thing. Like, and I don't mind it. Like, all I ask for is like, just to be treated with just like the most basic level of respect, right? And then I'm glad to help some. So I work at a grocery store. You got grocery stores in Moscow, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, let's go. Let's fucking go.
Finally, we got them.
Yeah. Last year. No, I'm. No, so, yeah, man. So I work customer service, and so like I work in the refrigerated section, and I was working, and I just asked for like something just basic decency. I'll help a customer out. I just like make eye contact, like that's like people will just say words without even looking at you and expect you to help. Like I don't even know you're fucking talking to me. Right? But like, so I'm working this cart, and there was a lady to my left, and she's looking at the yogurt, and I can just see out of the corner of my eye that she's pissed, like the body language, and she hits me with the, she clears her throat, which, has that ever worked? Like, has anyone ever like cleared their throat and then been met with like excellent customer service? Like, who's gonna be, oh yes, how can I help you? So she hits me with 2 throat clears, and I'm ignoring her, and eventually goes, excuse me, you have any more of this yogurt in the back? And I'm 12 feet away. I don't know what the fuck she's pointing at. And so I'm like, I honestly don't. And I walk over, I look, and I'm like, oh, nope, we're out of it. Like, she goes, isn't this the moment where you offer me something at that sales price? And I get passive aggressive from Portland, so I'm like, I'm gonna kill it with kindness. So I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. I will give you whatever you want for free. Absolutely, no cost to you. What? Oh, you wanted? She wanted a small yogurt. I went and I grabbed the biggest version of that same yogurt. I'm like, you know what? Here's a half gallon of that same yogurt for free. I cross out the barcode and I go, here you go. Have a nice day. And I walk back and I go back to my car to just do my thing, and I see she's still there, which is kind of freaking me out. Like I'm like, look, I gave you your free yogurt. What the fuck do you want? Like, and she walks up to me and she goes, you're Robert's son, aren't you? Like, and I am. Spoiler alert. I am. I'm like, yo, you know my dad? Like, I thought you were just being shitty to me, not knowing who the fuck I am. Like, that's respectable. But, like, you know me, and you were treating me like shit. Like, this is crazy. But I'm like, I'm going to have some fun with this. And so I was like, yeah, I'm Robert's son. And she goes, well, how is he? And I go, I don't know. We don't talk anymore. Now, I have a great relationship with my dad. We talk all the time. I hang out with him once a week. I feel like I'm very fortunate and lucky. I got a great relationship with him. But I was just like, I'm going to have some fun with it. Now, normally, if I was ever meeting someone or talking to someone and asked them how their parent was, and they responded, I don't know, I don't talk to them, I'd let it go, right? Like, that's just like, all right, subject, hard pivot, right? We call that the Moscow pivot. You just change it, right? And so, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't talk to him anymore. And instead of being a decent person, just moving on, she goes, why? I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Like, I'm going to spill my heart about this fictional rift with my father to you? Like, I'm like, yeah, we don't talk anymore. And she goes, well, does he still live over in Montana? Like, now it's getting creepy. Like, she knows where my dad used to live. Like, I'm like, and I have no idea who the fuck she is. I'm going through a Rolodex in my brain, and I go, honestly, I don't know if he lives there. Like I said, we don't talk. like nailing it down. Like, look, I don't even know where he fucking lives. I do, but I know exactly where he lives. But, and then, you know, so then she just goes, well, he always was an asshole. And then just walked away with the free yogurt that I had given her. And talk about a backfire, but I was too committed to the bit. I couldn't be like, hey, fuck you, I love my dad. He's doing great. He lives out in Corbett, all right? Like, crushing it. And so I went and I take my break, and I'm like, I gotta call my dad. I call him up, and I'm telling him the story, and he's loving it. He's laughing the whole time. And then I get to the best part, and I'm like, yeah. And then she says, he was always an asshole, though, right? And then she walked away, and my dad stops laughing. And she's like, who the fuck was this bitch? And I'm like, I don't know. And we'll never know until someday a woman is going to approach him and be like, hey, I'm sorry that you had a falling out with your son. And he's going to know right then. That's fucking all right, that's been my time, everybody.
Dylan Jenkins, let him hear it. Dylan Jenkins. All right, your next comedian coming up with a stretch which is whiteboard. Please give it up for Kelly Thomas, everybody. Hello. I'm just gonna wait for the techno music to end. All right, I like to do crowd work, but I also like to have tips for crowd work that I'm just gonna go through. Tip 1, introduce yourself. Hello, I'm Kelly. Say hello to everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, yeah, hi. Hello. Okay, the next two are together. It's ask people what they do. Don't be mean. All right. Does anyone have a job? Don't yell at me. Raise your hand if you want me to talk to you. Please raise your hand. Hey, what do you do for work?
I'm a software engineer.
Cool. That's a noble profession. What do you engineer?
Music distribution.
Next person. Hi. You said you had a job. What do you do?
I'm a full-time student.
Said jobs. So, who else has job? Hi. Hello. What do you do?
I'm the managing director of Curious Comedy.
It's a noble profession. Has anyone seen a movie recently? What's up?
Yeah.
What movie did you see?
Inside Out.
Cool. No spoilers, but what happens?
Well, life happens.
Wow. Comes at you fast.
Yeah.
Dang. Does anyone like soda? Anyone?
Yeah, I love soda.
Cool. Just a sec. I'm gonna see if it gets all the way over here. What kind of soda do you like?
Diet Coke.
Like the Coke brand Diet Coke, or like you were using a colloquialism of like cola?
I love the Coke brand Diet Coke, but I will do a Diet Pepsi. Absolutely no RC.
It's a noble profession. Thank you. Has anyone seen a Fast and Furious movie? Who? You?
Yeah.
Which one?
Tokyo Drift.
Never mind. Hey, what's up? Do you mind if I say hi to you?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Do you have a job?
I do.
What do you do?
I'm a nurse.
Why?
I don't know.
Cool.
Taking care of people.
Nice. Is there, like, what's your favorite disease?
Well, I work in labor and delivery, so I help deliver babies. So thankfully, I don't have to deal with a lot of diseases.
But if you had to choose.
Preeclampsia.
Tight. Is that a bad one?
Pretty bad.
Oh, okay. I was hoping it was like I have a stuffy nose, but it was like a fancy name for it. Is there a fancy name for stuffy nose?
I know of.
Okay, we'll check back in later. Hello, Moscow person. Can I talk to you?
Of course.
Okay. What do you do for work?
So
That sounds really cool and amazing. It's a noble profession. Where is it going to be?
Online.
Oh, online.
Yeah.
So no soda fountains or anything.
So,
Okay.
what?
No soda fountains or anything?
No
No.
soda fountains. You can help me with English on that. What do you mean?
You know when you go to a machine and you put quarters in and you get a soda?
So, okay.
Yeah.
No, I know
So that wouldn't exist on your online store is what I'm saying.
I'll think about it.
Thank you. Thank you for seriously considering it. Thank you for seriously considering it. Okay, I'm going to stretch into my stretch, which is drawing. Which is drawing. Okay, I'm going to incorporate the two of you over there, but not a lot, but I will. Okay. Okay. We all love art, and what we're going to do today is we're going to create a cartoon character together. How? I'm going to draw it, but you're also going to give me things for it. So we're going to draw the head first, but I need 2 adjectives. Would you like to provide me one of those adjectives?
Yes. Bumpy.
Bumpy. And then, are they wearing a hat? No. Why would they? And what's another adjective?
Haunty.
Haunty? Okay.
Oh no!
It ran out of ink! Okay. Ooh. Okay. That's what it looks like. Okay, now we're gonna get down to the body. Hello. Give me an adjective for the body.
Sharp.
Sharp. And then are they wearing a piece of clothing? Yes, no?
Sure.
What is it?
A bikini top?
A bikini top. All right. Sharp bikini top. Burp. Burp. Yep. So demure. We're gonna keep it the bumpy. Okay. Oh, wait. Got that body. Little belly button. All right. What's their leg situation? Curious comedy person.
They have tentacle legs.
What are they wearing something?
Bikini bottom.
Great. Cool. Let's do this. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Bikini bottom. Here. There we go. Woo. Okay. Cool. All right. Every cartoon character needs a catchphrase, though. So I'm gonna need someone to think about a catchphrase and be super into it, and then I'm gonna come to you and you're gonna tell me it, and I'm gonna be so excited about it. Okay, who has one? Anyone? Not you. Not you yet. Do you have one? Is it no? No, catchphrase. No. Do you have one? Excuse me. I'm just gonna come to you. Do you have a catchphrase? No. I think we know what the catchphrase is. No. Thank you very much. I've been Kelly Thomas. Keep it going for Kelly Thomas, everyone. Keep it going for Kelly Thomas. Yeah, keep it going. I don't know about y'all, I think Stretch actually has a new mascot now. I think this is gotta be the official mascot of Stretch. Just, no. No. I don't know about y'all, I really enjoyed Kelly's crowd work style, which is asking someone to do something and if hear anything, who? I loved that so much. Our next comedian coming up to do a stretch, their stretch is going to be Martina McBride. Please give it up for Amy Sinclair.
Okay. First of all, when Kelly was describing Bumpy over here, When we said bumpy and sharp bikini top, did anyone else think, oh, Madonna? No. Okay. Get it because she's old. Okay, anyways. Before we get to country music legend, all-star, friend of all of us, Martina McBride, I'll just do some regular old material, okay? I'm so cute. I'm so cute, sometimes people don't know how mentally ill I am. They don't realize, and then they get to know me, and they're like, oh, ooh. Yeah, I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. I know that right now you can't tell that I have OCD. Yeah, I do have OCD, and sometimes that surprises people. They don't realize it because they don't exhibit those behaviors that they know, and they're like, and they tell me, they're like, I don't really see that for you. And I'm like, that's a weird thing for you to say, Mom. Yeah, I do have OCD, and people don't get it because it's not what they see in TV and what we think of culturally. I don't have like the counting type or like the cleaning type or like the solving crime type. It's not what I got going on. The biggest representation of OCD that I know of is the 2010s TV show Monk. You guys remember Monk? All right, Tony Shalhoub heads in the house. Cool. I love Tony Shalhoub. You guys relate? You guys remember Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? This is not part of the bit, but you guys remember in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel when he's doing calisthenics in that jumpsuit? So hot. There's something wrong with me. We'll get to that later. Anyways, the TV show Monk is probably not a great representation for OCD because my OCD doesn't make me better at anything. It especially doesn't make me good at solving crime, right? Like, I'm not a good detective. I would say probably the closest I've ever come to being a detective is when my math teacher fucked his students. I know. And I was like, what? No. That guy? He would never. We're best friends. We have lunch together alone on Tuesdays because he thinks I'm interesting to talk to. I know, scary. Nothing happened, don't worry. To me. Okay. Buckle up because it's gonna get worse. Not for this, but later. You'll see. Listen, I'm filling in last minute, and this is not entirely meticulously thought out, and I'm so sorry if any of you leave here thinking I'm a terrible person, but you're correct. No, that was a situation. I just wasn't a very good detective, you know? I didn't realize that was what he had going on. And my whole school handled that terribly. All of them were so mean to these girls, and I hated that. I hated it so much, but as like a pretentious 15-year-old feminist, I didn't quite have the language to word that like he was using a position of power to manipulate young girls who he knew would be susceptible to this, right? So what I said was, in a hallway full of people, stop it! It's not her fault! She has daddy issues. And that's white feminism. We're trying, but we're actively making it worse. Yeah. OCD, though, you know, it's not what people typically think of. For me, what it manifests in is like a lot of like compulsive routines that I have to do where I think something really terrible is going to happen. And it's not fun, but I do think it makes me a better driver. I do, because I'll share my driving tips with you all. Certified OCD driving tips. When you guys know about the gas pedal in your car, yeah, when you press down on that, you have to say "car, go go" out loud, or your car's not gonna move. You think your car runs on gas? No, it doesn't. It runs on a character that you have in your head that makes the car go. Okay. That's OCD. My other driving tip is when you're going over a crosswalk, you need to say out loud again, there's no one in the crosswalk, you are permitted to go. Or you will kill a single mother of two. If you don't say it, it's gonna happen. It's never happened because I stick to my routine, okay? Just passing it along. You take these home with you. Another one, when you come to a 4-way stop, give everyone names and backstories. That's Troy in the Toyota Camry. He paid for Twitter Blue originally. You go ahead and cut him off. That's Sierra in the red Jeep. I want to have sex with her. That is Bill. He has a gun. Very large truck. Let him go first. I learned some things in Florida. Yeah, those are my certified OCD driving tips. Thank you. Did I hit the light for 5 minutes yet? Who knows? Yeah, okay. I'm supposed to talk about Martina McBride now. When I told Lee my stretch, he was like, "Oh, so you're doing a character?" And I was like, "No, that's not what I'm doing. What I am doing is, and I have a PowerPoint on my phone that I'm gonna show all of you. What I'm doing is a study of Concrete Angel by Martina McBride. Is anyone familiar with the song Concrete Angel? Good for you. We're going to educate the rest of you. Okay? A study of Concrete Angel by Martina McBride, or Amy's parents should have known something was fucked in her head. Here's the thing. I really do think my parents probably should have known I was a bit mentally ill at a pretty early age, because I would spend 6 hours at a family computer just watching this music video over and over and over again. And it's very important that you know that my parents didn't abuse me. They didn't. But this music video is about what? Child murder. Yeah, it's not good. It's very sad. And little Amy watched this music video over and over and over again. I don't know why. Let's get into it. Let's meet our characters. First of all, sad little girl with the style of a coquettish lesbian. You know the type. Can you see it? Do you see it? Do you see the coquettish lesbian? They don't get it. It's fine. You're busy being a nurse. You don't get it. Aaron, do you see the coquettish lesbian in this?
Yeah.
Thank you. I will accept that as a win. Okay, sad little girl. Bad mom, aka Ellen, but worse.
Yeah.
Do you see it? She looks like Ellen, but like white trash. So Ellen. And then we have Martina Slay McBride. Do you see Martina slaying? Yeah, she's in fall. She has special effects on her eyes to make them look radioactively blue. Slay. We love a contemplative queen. You all see it. We all get it. Look at the eyeshadow. You're seeing it. You'll love it. Okay. First thing we get in this music video, more important to know, complicit teacher, bad. But I do want her sweater. Look at her sweater. Isn't that a good sweater, Jason?
I would wear that sweater.
Thank you. Complicit. She does not help sad little girl. But bright spot, we get happy little blonde boy. Look at him. He's so happy. Happy little blonde boy. Oh, they're making friends. Friendship. Now the sad little blonde girl is happy. She's also, okay, the very important note, she's in a window for this. And they're talking to each other. It's like very You Belong With Me music video. Okay, no Swifties here. That's fine. Okay, dark note. Prepare yourselves. There's child abuse. It's bad. We don't like it. He's so sad now. Happy little blonde boy is sad. He crying. Okay, let's take a moment to appreciate Martina's sleeves. Aren't those good sleeves?
Hell yeah, so itchy.
Good sleeves?
Yeah, it's good.
Good sleeves?
Amazing.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Uh-oh, ambulance. Oh, what happened? Sad little blonde boy behind crime scene tape. Uh-oh, not good. But look at these sleeves! Ma'am, look at these sleeves! Good sleeves, huh?
I'm kind of blind. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Good sleeves! Uh-oh, funeral. Ooh, not good. We don't like that. He doesn't like it either. Sad little blonde boy, so sad. But wait. Aaron, you're never going to guess what happens next. Truly, The mindfuck of a century. You're guessing what's gonna happen? I don't know what's gonna happen. Look at that. Tell me what that is.
He's a magician.
He's a magician. No! He's surrounded by golden orb. And he passes through the other people at the funeral. What? This is like Marvel level bullshit. You guys don't know about Martina McBride's creative direction. And look, happy blonde girl! Yay! And now children frolicking. The children are frolicking. The children are frolicking in this music video. So what I'm saying is, I think Martina McBride thinks that abused children are better off dead. And for some reason, I really like to watch that music video again and again and again. Look at our contemplative queen. She's so sad. She's hiding her sleeves because the situation's very sad. Anyways, these are my parents and they probably should have gotten me help. Okay, bye.
Keep it going for Amy Sinclair, everybody. Amy Sinclair. Yes. Next comedian coming up for their stretch portion of the set. You saw them earlier, and they're back for the stretch. Please give it up for John Sanchez III.
Please cut the music or else I'll keep vibing. Oh, whoa. At first, I took a few hits and I was like, am I high? And then I came inside, immediately looked at someone and I was like, you know I'm high and that's funny. And then I started laughing in the corner and also dancing in the corner. And I took a photo of the moon pie for no reason. I was like, that's interesting. They have those here. Whoa, okay. Chris introduced me wrong because from now on I am going by Wowan Wanchez, the Word. That's my new name. The W stands for weed. Hey, comedy. What if this is my new thing where I get high and after all of my jokes I say comedy? Would I get on America's Got Talent for that? Would they let me? I could be a clean comedian. I could. What else do I have? This might be clean comedy. Okay, I saw a sign on the way here, and by that I mean I did not drive here. It was while driving earlier. Am I giving too many details? Is this too specific? Specificity is comedy. What? Okay. Start over. All right, I'm driving, and I see this sign that says, "Stop! Chicken's playing!" And I was like, what? Like, that's gonna make me want to stop. You're telling me there are chickens playing here? I'm gonna pull over. I'm not just stopping, I'm pulling over and I'm gonna take pictures of your chickens. I wanna see those chickens playing. What are they playing? Are they playing basketball? Is that what they're doing? Little chickens with their wings going boop, 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 boop. Is this comedy? That wasn't comedy. I think this is my new thing. Okay. When you do drugs, you forget things, so I have my little list. And one of my notes is, I saw mommy fisting Santa Claus. Is that anything? You have to admit, it's a really funny idea. I mean, I don't want to, never mind. All right. Okay, one of my notes here says homeroom, but what if we pronounced it homeroom? Is that... That was... Listen, I didn't write that while high. I didn't write that while high. At some point, completely sober, I wrote this in my phone as if it were an idea. Comedy. Oh, okay. All right, here's almost real comedy. Wait, what? Sorry, no, you're fine. I'm like, oh my God, what if this is my crowd work moment? What if my thing is that I do crowd work while high? Oh my God, what's happening? Nothing? But the...
Talk to me about Portland.
Oh my God, tell me all about Portland. Wait, is this your first time? Okay. Wow, okay.
It's our first time.
It's your first time in Portland. Oh my God, where are you here from?
Los Angeles.
Crazy, right? That's comedy. Okay. I think I have to go. I have been, probably up here 40 minutes, so I have no concept of time. I did drugs. You can't blame me. Bye.
Keep it going for Wowan Sanchez, the words. Comedy. Comedy. All right. We have a few more comics here for you at Stretch. Your next comedian coming to the stage doing their stretch, which is longer stories. Give it up for Lee H. Tillman.
I used to have an Asian coworker named Tyrone. My name is Lee. So for 8 hours a day, me and Tyrone got paid to make people feel racist. There's this myth that black people age well. It's not true. The reality is white people age poorly. Spent a little time in a homeless shelter when I was a kid. I always thought that would be the worst place I would ever live. But then when I turned 22, I moved to Florida. Really put things in perspective. Every time I see someone smoking meth at a bus stop, I look away. But it's not out of disgust. It's out of reverence. Because even though that person clearly has somewhere to be, they still took a little time for themselves. It's called self-care, guys. Currently collect stocks. And I'm starting to use something called a smart portfolio, which is basically an AI that picks out your stocks for you. And recently, my AI invested in AI technology. And this is how I know AI would never be able to do what I do. Because AI believes in itself. I was on a 6-hour flight from New York to Seattle, and there was this kid kicking me in the back the entire time. But I wasn't upset about it because I knew it was karma. Because earlier that day, someone asked me for spare change, and I didn't give it to him, even though I did have the change. And when he turned and walked away, I kicked him in the back. So karma is real, guys. Don't do that. One time after a show, a guy came up to me and said, "I really like your jokes. I just wish you were more animated." And I said, "My demeanor on stage is half the joke." And then I dropped an anvil on his head. That's the other half of the joke. I once heard a comedian say that a woman getting in a... What's going on over there?
I didn't know what anvil means, sorry.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sometimes I say piano. So, imagine I said piano. Yoga is just the Karma Sutra minus one person. And a funeral is just a party minus one person. There's this myth that black people age well. Did I already say this? Okay. feel like maybe I smoked before the show. I sleep with my eyes open. It's not a metaphor. That's a medical condition that has ruined all of my relationships. Because everyone that I sleep with can unlock my phone. I do sleep with my eyes open. Sometimes I wake up in the morning, my eyes are beet red. And when you have red eyes and you talk this slow, people assume that you're high. So I just want to let everyone know right now that I'm high. I just started a plant-based diet. I'm up to 3 edibles a day. Losing a lot of weight, seeing a lot of colors. Going great. Currently don't own a car, and I don't own a car for environmental reasons. The environment where I live stole my car. So, do you guys get it? Like my style, you get it? Do I need to keep going? No? Yeah. All right. I mean, I can do it all night, but like I'm just supposed to do 5 minutes to let you know what it sounds like. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell my story in 5 minutes, so I'll just start right now, I guess. You guys are very engaged. Okay, so now I'm switching over to the story. So I love doing comedy, but one of my favorite things in the world is music. That's my first love. A lot of my memories, I can like think of a lot of things that I've done, and a song will come to mind, like what I was playing at the time. Like for instance, the first time I kissed a girl, I was listening to Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style, because I'm a romantic. The first time I got into a car wreck, I was listening to The Wind Cries Mary by Jimi Hendrix. And when I found out that Osama bin Laden was killed, I was standing in line at Chipotle. Now I know that has nothing to do with music, but it is a weird story, right? Like there's like 30 of us standing in line at Chipotle, and we all pulled out our phones at the same time, and an iPhone 4 or a Motorola Razr, depending on how much money you had. And we all found out at the same time, and we all celebrated by buying a burrito. But later on that day, when I had diarrhea from eating at Chipotle, I was listening to Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast. But I used to have this YouTube channel where I reviewed music, albums, classic albums that I had never heard before. And I realized, like, while I was doing this, there was 1 year that I didn't have any, like, memories for. And I said earlier in my set that I spent time in a homeless shelter. And I realized that the same year that happened was also the year that I have no memory of pop culture. So instead of like pop culture was replaced by, tent shopping, I guess. So you may be asking, like, how did we get there? So there's 2 reasons. One reason is because my dad was drafted into Vietnam, like 2.2 million other men were. And by the 80s, they had no need for them anymore, so they started basically firing them, or however you want to call that. So my dad had no job, so that was one reason. The second thing is that my brother broke into my neighbor's house. Now, before you make any judgments about my brother, he was very smart about it. He used gloves, he used a disguise, he put everything back exactly where it was. There was just one fatal flaw. He did it in the middle of the winter, and there was 3 inches of snow. So they just had his tracks from our house to the neighbor's house and back. So, long story short, he went to juvie, we went to a homeless shelter. And a few months later, we ended up getting an apartment. And then my mom wakes me up in the middle of the night, and we she says, we all pile into a U-Haul van. So clap if you've ever moved in the middle of the night. All right, so most of you had happy childhoods, I'm assuming. If you move in the middle of the night, that usually means either you can't pay rent, or what was happening to us was my mom realized that my brother, they saw like how the justice system was treating my brother. They treated him like he was just another kid. And she saw how they were treating him, and she realized that if he stayed in there, he would just end up in the revolving door of the prison system. So she decided in the middle of the night, we got him a weekend pass. Well, my parents got him a weekend pass, and we decided to cross state lines and move to Texas, where, you know, we're so positive about the prison system in Texas, such a much better place than where we were. So moved to Texas, and I'm happy to say my brother never went to juvie again. He did go to jail, never juvie. Well, one of the funnier things about this is that as I was telling this story to my then girlfriend, current fiance, she asked me, did my parents talk to me about this? My parents were born in the 50s. They weren't going to talk to me about anything, especially not something that serious that happened. So I didn't realize like why we moved in the middle of the night or what any of that happened until I was like in my 30s. So that's it. And I'm sorry, was that the first slide or the second? That's the second one? Okay. So, yeah, so my parents are boomers. There's no way they're ever going to talk to me about anything. And not boomers like in the okay boomer way, like literally they were baby boomers. They were born in 1950. Yeah, and that's why I never heard Straight Outta Compton by NWA.
Keep it going for Lee H. Tillman. Lee H. Tillman, everyone. All right, we have one final comic for the Stretch Showcase. Are y'all ready for our final comic tonight, closing out the show? Our final comic, their stretch, is musical comedy. Please give it up for Mix Dahlia Bell.
I am also the second half of Lee H. Tillman's stretch. I am Lee H. Tillman after 6 years on estrogen. That is... This show took a long time to produce. And a lot of money. No, I'm kidding, of course. So my stretch was going to be music. And then over the weeks, I had to prepare, nearly a month in fact, I realized that musical comedy required me to do two things. Both write comedy and to write music. And that's twice as much work as I normally do. So I decided, fuck all that. I'm not going to do that. Because I have this thing where I don't do more work. Like, I don't have a college degree, for example. And the reason I don't have a college degree, you know, there are a lot of reasons people might forgo college. Mine was that they kept asking me to, like, do things, like go to class. And that's just too much effort for me. I'm not really big on things. Nouns, really. I'm not a big fan of nouns. So like people, places, things, concepts, all very overwhelming for me. I don't really fuck with it. But I am doing a stretch this evening. I promise you that. Okay? I'm actually doing 2 stretches. So I'm actually kind of breaking my rule. I am doing 2 things. I'm still multitasking. So I kind of set myself up for failure here. So my double stretch, what I will be doing is 1, reading comedy off of my phone. And 2nd, I will be performing poetry. And I will be performing poetry in multiple forms of poetry. Now, did I execute these forms of poetry correctly or accurately? Probably not. Because, like I said, I did not go to college. I don't know how to write. I don't read. I'm not saying like I've never read a book. I definitely read books, like when I was in school or when I was in my 20s and even a bit into my 30s. And then I hit my 40s and I realized I didn't want to do things anymore. So that included reading. So I stopped doing that. I mostly just listen to other people tell me things that they've read places, and I prefer if they don't cite any sources either, because if they cite sources, then I feel obligated to fact check them, and then that's, again, me doing something. And I prefer to just take people on their word. Like the gentleman from Moscow, if he's from somewhere other than Moscow, I don't need to know that, because I'm not going to ask. That would be an additional step of me doing something in my life, and then I'm going to be exhausted. So I'm just going to take everyone's word for everything all the time. America's a democracy. I heard that once. It was said by someone in some place. So here's the interesting thing about me. This is my actual style of comedy. I legitimately just show up and create havoc and chaos. It's kind of my thing because it's easy for me because I'm always on drugs. So that's why I couldn't do that as my stretch. I'm partially dissociated most of the time, at least when I leave my home. Okay. I don't know if I got my first light or not. Probably not. I could continue doing my normal kind of comedy, but again, that would be more work, so I'm not going to do that. So I wrote a few poems, and I put a lot of heart and soul into this, so I hope you enjoy these poems. This first poem, I decided to write in the form of epic couplet. And this one is entitled Felide Carnivora. And the poem goes like this. Blades drawn and expertly sharpened, she cut roughshod the window's veil, peered through the trees, sniffed gently the remnants of summer air, conversed with birds and the tongues of angels as she licked her wounds of frustration. Perched and prepared for battle, fearless in defense of border, boundary, and nation. Ever ready for her next glorious hunt, she cried out to the gods to sustain her. And I, mere mortal, watching in awe and trembling with fear, declared, "Aren't you a pretty kitty? Just a pretty little kitty, you're so precious. I love you." Okay. Thank you. That is poem one. That is poem one. Okay. This next poem is entitled, first of all, this one is written in the form of haiku no ranga, is a Japanese poetic form, and this one is entitled Why I Blocked They Ass. Minding my own biz, he told me I had man face. Nobody asked him. She said, "You're a man, stay out of women's spaces." Stay out my face, bitch. Calling in a friend, he cried, "Reverse racism. Nigga, fuck you then." Why I blocked they ass was because they were all on some top tier bullshit. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I wrote that one by a river. With bamboo chimes playing in the trees behind me, the subtle scent of cherry blossoms. I was high. I was definitely high when I wrote these poems. Okay. This next poem, very, very meaningful to me. I wrote this in the style. I borrowed from some of the great American poets throughout history, so it's almost a Walt Whitman meets Jack Frost, meets that other dude, kind of style. Okay. This one is entitled "The Gayest Shit I Did." Parentheses, this week. And this poem goes like this. Sunday, I attended drag brunch. Monday, I had avocado toast for lunch. Tuesday, I stopped to pet a stranger's poodle. Wednesday, I corrected my post. It was a labradoodle. Thursday, I bought a used Subaru. Friday, I switched my brand of tofu. And Saturday, I had butt sex. That is the gayest shit I did, parentheses, this week. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. This is a poem that I had initially intended to set to music. And the real reason I didn't is because I realized that the only instrument I play with any level of proficiency is electric bass. And that's heavy, and so is the amp, and I am weak. So I did not opt to put myself through that much strain. So this poem, I think many of us in this room can relate to it and its theme. It is entitled, Hey, Nigga, Hey. And the poem goes like this. This is a slam poem, by the way. This man slid into my DMs. I did not know his face. I did not know him. He broke the ice in a way leading me to believe he may have something more to say than just one word. That word was hey. The information given felt deficient. It was of an insufficient amount, forcing me to find more out, including what this nigga was all about. In other words, I hacked all this man's accounts. I determined where he was employed, the car he drove. It was a used toy, Oda. By his single word inspired, I slashed all 4 of his tires, busted out his 6 windows, and had the whole car towed. And in his parking space with paint I sprayed just one word. That word was hey. I figured out where he lived with his wife and all their kids. Behind a manicured shrub I hid. By his single word inspired, to his house I set afire. Set that whole bitch ablaze. From the roof to the foundation, the whole house was raised. And as his family made their escape, I spoke these words. Hey, my guy. Hey, nigga. Hey. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Miss Dahlia Bell, everybody. Miss Dahlia Bell. Well, this has been Stretch, everyone. All the comedians you saw on the show is going to a different style of comedy. Give it up for everyone here at Curious Comedy, by the way. Curious Comedy Theater, NS here. And if you want to see future Stretch shows, Kristen Rowan usually posts them on her Instagram. That's at Kristen L. Rowan on Instagram. She'll let you know about all the future Stretch shows, where they're happening, when they're happening. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight, and have a great night, everybody.